Jalen Milroe getting a lot of buzz. I spent all weekend breaking down some of these quarterbacks, but I want to start with you, quarterback. You played the college game at an incredibly high level, 14-year NFL career. You know college quarterbacks as good, if not better, than anybody on TV. So, Chase, are you convinced Shedeur Sanders should be the second quarterback taken?
No, I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced really of anything in this draft other than Cam Ward's the best quarterback. Like, you could put number 2 out there. You could put Jaxson Dart. You could put Tyler Shuck. You could put Shedeur Sanders. You could put someone else. Because it's all preference on the team that's drafting them. We can say what we want, and we can break down film like we do, right? You watched this week, and I've watched a lot of Shedeur. Shady's watched a lot of Shedeur Sanders, okay? But the thing is, it's all about fit. So when you look at who should be the number 2 quarterback, you look at a guy like Shedeur. Shedeur is a classic, in my opinion, drop-back passer. He is a guy that sits in the pocket, doesn't have the strongest arm in the world, but is very accurate, has the it factor we've talked about a lot. He's taken 94 sacks in 2 seasons, and I can't just put that all on the offensive line, even though that offensive line play was really bad there. He's one of the harder quarterbacks to actually evaluate. And you look at like Jaxson Dart. Do you want a guy who can move around in the pocket, that can run? Jaxson Dart averaged 500 yards rushing in 3 seasons in the SEC. It's something that's not talked a lot about his game that more people need to talk about, because you have to be able to move in the pocket and outside of the pocket in this next level in the game. With Shedeur, he's extremely sharp mentally, right? But we don't know how he's going to react to playing at the next level. One thing about Shedeur that I've said, and I've said it to you before, is I don't know how much better as a thrower Shedeur can get in the NFL, because he's already a really good thrower. So that's what teams look at when they're talking about quarterbacks is, what do we think his ceiling can be? For me, I'm not sure what Shedeur Sanders' ceiling could be. He could go number 2. He could go number 4 with Tyler Shuck. Teams might prefer a 6'5", 6'6" pocket passer. You don't know. So for me, it's a hard one to do, but I'm not convinced, and I think the whole NFL is not convinced he is quarterback too.
I agree. I'm not convinced Shedeur is the second quarterback taken, but what I love about watching film, even more than watching games, is it's silent.
Yeah.
You don't hear nothing. You just be watching and you watch and you watch. Where Shedeur Sanders exceeds, I would suggest every quarterback in this class, is with the it factor, is with poise, is with presence in the game. That's the stuff that you have to watch the game to truly understand. I believe that Shedeur Sanders is the best galvanizer of all the quarterbacks in this class. He can lead his team. He can make his team believe. Now, when I look at a guy like Jaxson Dart, who I believe could be the second quarterback taken, he is a much, 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 much better runner.
Yes.
Significantly, substantially. And not just that he's a better runner, he's a more willing runner. Yeah. Like when you watch Ole Miss, they call design quarterback runs for him. He had 495 rushing yards this year. Keep in mind, in college, sacks count as rushing yards, so that's including sack yards. Conversely, Shedeur Sanders, I believe he had minus 70 rushing yards this season because of sacks. Jaxson Dart, though, he has to see it open in my mind before he can throw it. Shedeur Sanders, sometimes he just throws it. Yeah. But when I look at a guy like Jaxson Dart, 21 years of age right now, Shedeur Sanders, 23, Jaxson Dart, a much more willing runner. And then I think about the current NFL as it's designed. NFC Championship game. Jaden Daniels, runner. Jalen Hurts, runner. AFC Championship game. Josh Allen, runner. Patrick Mahomes, willing runner. I'm thinking to myself, man, you're going to have to be able to run. Shedeur, I trust that you can because of your last name. I haven't seen it yet. Am I convinced Shedeur should be second? No. Would I have an issue with him going second? No, because I don't know if it's clearly Dart. I don't know if it's clearly Shedeur. Shedeur does some stuff better. Dart does some stuff better. We'll break down more of it as the conversation goes along, 2-5.
Man, you guys don't have Shedeur going anywhere. Let me ask you a quick question before I give you my take. Dart. Jaxson Dart, right? Yes. You said he runs a little bit better, right? And he has more yards, right? You said that. Yep. But Lane Kiffin, all his quarterbacks he's had, since I've watched him at Ole Miss, they all have quarterback-driven runs. The ones that can run or can't run. Pat Shurmur, I played for Pat Shurmur in Philadelphia, right? Smart NFL coach, smart college coach, really good. He doesn't do that. That's not my thing. I'm not looking for my quarterback to have these type of runs. He don't do that. So I said this the last time we talked about the Shedeur, where should he go, first, second, or third? And I said sometimes, you know, it's okay to be really, really good at the basics. Like, hey, man, as a coach, if there's nobody open, run. Stuff like that you don't even think about. I gave this story about when my first time, I hated not that I hate the block, but I didn't really block. They just gave me the ball, either run or catch it, right? So then in college, I would just always cut guys and cut guys. I got to the pros, one of my favorite coaches of all time, Deuce Staley, said, Shady, every time you block and you cutting, everybody sees that. Why you don't do nothing else? And I'm like, I don't know, right? Maybe because nobody taught me that. And he said, next time a defender comes at you, fake cut him, hit him up top and block him. And I started doing that, and I became a better blocker. But the simple thing is, Shedeur. I said that story to say, if there's nobody open, run.
Yeah.
It's them simple things.
Yeah.
Jaxson Dart, last thing about him, because he came out of nowhere. Now everybody's talking about him now. It's cool. Now everybody's talking about Jaxson Dart and all that. But I watched him at Ole Miss. He was cool. I wasn't big on it, but he was cool.
Mm-hmm.
Can he become a better thrower in the league? You said Shedeur, you don't think he can become a better passer in the league because he's good now?
I think Jaxson Dart is more of a prospect than Shedeur. I think Shedeur's more pro-ready right now, but I think Jaxson Dart's ceiling could eventually surpass him.
Right. Well, I think Shedeur not only could be the number 2 quarterback, he could be the number 1. When I watch Cam Ward, I think Cam Ward is really, really good. I watch Shedeur, I think the same thing. I think of what do you like? Do you like a guy that is a pocket passer that throws guys open like a Joe Burrow type of quarterback? Or you like somebody like Cam Ward that can make plays and extend plays here and there. So to me, I would take Shedeur first. You know, I look at it more than just the football part of it. I think they all are in the same category of on the field. I don't think one quarterback out of these top 2 guys, Shedeur and Cam Ward, is like a big difference, in my opinion. I think Shedeur, he comes with the talent on the field and off the field. And I think that he's a quarterback that can kind of bring everybody together. I think about going to different teams, right? When I got older in my career, trying to gel with different teammates. And some people have that, and a lot of people don't.
Right.
And I think I watched Shedeur go to Jackson State, get that team together. They help them build and win. Then he goes to Colorado, an old new team, right? Your dad sends everybody through the portal, guys coming and leaving. And you find a way to bond with them guys, to gel together, to build and be good. I look at all them type of things, not just the X's and O's.
When you look at what Shady, so where Shedeur to me wins is what Shady's talking about. But the dilemma for me is that stuff is much harder to quantify. For example, if I'm quantifying, and right now, legitimately, quarterbacks, you have to be mobile. So Shedeur on tape, you don't run, okay? Well, run the 40 then. Well, okay, you didn't run the 40 at the Combine. Okay, run the 40 at the Big 12 Pro Day. Okay, you didn't run the 40 at the Big 12 Pro Day. Okay, fine. Run the 40 at the NFL Showcase, which is your Colorado-owned Pro Day. Okay, you didn't run then. So now, by every metric I have to grade you on, you can't run. You either can't or you won't, but you're choosing not to.
He's never shown he can.
Then he's never shown he can. Then when I look at his arm, it's not that strong. So where Shedeur wins is everything Shady's talking about. It's the galvanization. It's the it factor. It's the motivation. It's the bringing everybody together. That, to me, is just harder to quantify. Now, because that might matter more than everything, a la Tom Brady, his metrics won't just blow you away. Because that matters most, that's why I believe if you take Shedeur second, I understand it.
Yeah, and here's my honest truth about the whole situation. I think there's one quarterback that should truly go first round. That's Cam Ward. Like if I'm being completely honest, I think that these other guys, Jaxson Dart, Tyler Shuck, and Shedeur, we're pushing them up draft boards because of the positional value of quarterback. If I'm drafting a quarterback in the first round, I need something physically that I can't teach if I'm a team. The only quarterback that has that right now is Cam Ward. The arm talent, the arm strength, the pocket, all this stuff, you can't teach that. You can teach everything Shedeur has, and the it factor is a plus. You can teach Jaxson Dart because physically he's a good runner. You ran for 500, like, you know what I mean? Like Tyler Shuck. Physically, though, that's why he's moving up draft boards. You can't teach the arm talent that Shuck has. And so I think that's what teams are starting to do. But the fact is, this is such a down quarterback class, but teams still need quarterbacks. I think they're pushing these, like the ceiling of it, a lot higher.
Now, the problem, though, is wouldn't you suggest the things you can't see when you're evaluating a player are just as important as the things you can?
I'm talking about the first round. I'm not talking Tom Brady, who we didn't know, who went 6th or 7th round, right? Or some other guys that he didn't have. I'm talking about the first, especially the first overall pick, the first 10 picks of the draft. Like, if you're going as a quarterback, I have to physically see something on film that'd be like, I can't coach that.
Yeah.
Like, I can coach it, I can't coach that. And Cam Ward has it.
What up, YouTube family? Welcome to the facility. Thanks for watching, and you better be sure to hit that subscribe button if you want to get more highlights from the show and all of our exclusive content.